Is there a new type of coronavirus, neo-CoV? Is it SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome, or is it MERS, Middle Eastern respiratory syndrome? Will it kill? Will it infect? Is it found in bats? Will bats transmit it to us? There are many questions on everyone's minds. And what better way to express it than come up with memes?
But jokes apart, this really is no laughing matter. This indeed is a pathogen, but we aren't really pressing the panic button yet.
Ever since China warned about neo-CoV, and yes, China has warned the world this time, through their scientists in Wuhan, there has been some amount of panic.
But we are here to break the facts down for you, and here is what we know.
For starters, Wuhan scientists highlighted in the study the potential of the neo-CoV to adapt and infect humans in the near future. But this information added fuel to the raging fire on an already existent pandemic. What is neo-CoV? Neo-CoV is not a new virus. It is a bat virus identified in 2011-12, identified in species of bats called Neoromycia. So why the panic? It is supposed to have very close resemblance to the coronavirus that caused the Middle East respiratory syndrome, MERS, in 2012, and hence the worry.
The new CoV virus was identified in 2012 by researchers in South Africa in bats in their search for the ancestor of the MERS-CoV virus. The new CoV virus generated interest because of its genomic similarity to the MERS-CoV virus.
But why is neo-CoV trending now?
After a preprint from China looked at this virus in detail and found that this virus uses the ACE2 receptor of the bat to enter the bat cell. Now this virus, that's a new CoV virus, has never infected man or killed a human being in history.
In the past, it has not generated any infection in humans and is completely incompetent on that front.
It doesn't induces infection in human. It has no capability to induce infection in the human because it affects the bat ACE2 receptor, not the human receptor till now.
Also, it has no relationship with the novel coronavirus that has wreaked havoc.
Experts say that there is a need to be cautious, but no reason to think that this is going to lead to another pandemic. Pathogens exist, and surveillance of
C case has been detected. It was in fact first detected in the United Kingdom. Now a case being reported from Mumbai. What is the health ministry saying? Are there any guidelines? What do we know about this variant?
Well, so far there has no statement that has been released by the health ministry, but the Mumbai government has announced that as of now there is one case of XC that has in fact been reported. Now XC is a combination of the two variant combination of Omicron's BA1 and BA2, which are two sub-variants, and these when combined a person has to be multiple infection of these variant, and then the person gets infected with XC. Now, like you pointed out, yes, this was first reported in UK, but a very important to note here is that the fourth wave that we are seeing in China as well as in Europe is because of this variant, is because of XC variant, which is 10 times more infectious than any other variant that we have seen in the across globally that we have seen so far. So accordingly, of course, we are waiting for a statement from the health ministry as to whether there is going to be more restrictions that will be put, because as of now there are a number of states that have dropped the restrictions. Overall, we have seen since 31st March restrictions have come down, the cases have come down to about 700.
In fact, Maharashtra and Delhi have said that it is not mandatory to wear a mask in public anymore. Rather, you will not be fined if you don't wear a mask in public, but people cannot let their guard down.
Absolutely, Swati, and this is clearly an example of that, because there are a number of scientists, top scientists, who have in fact said that the variant, the mutation will go on, and we can't let our guards down. Of course, the vaccination that we are going through, that we have got, the new research that have come, that are only
Right.
going to help us to combat it. But at the same time, we need to be very
Right.
careful
Precaution. Precaution is the key. Sharon and Shivani, stay on with us. We have Dr. Bagai joining us on the broadcast. Dr. Bagai, another variant, XC variant, which is a combination of two strains of Omicron. What can you tell us about this particular variant, sir? The first case has been detected in Mumbai.
Hi, good evening. So this XE variant is, we got to keep a very close eye on it. It is increasing rapidly in the European Union subcontinent. It's a recombinant vaccine, recombinant sublineage of a combination of BA1 and BA2, the two sublineages of Omicron. It's 10% more infectious than BA.2 and 40% more infectious than BA.1. This has almost 28 unique new genetic changes as compared to the original strain of Omicron, and it spreads very fast, although it is still mild. But the worrying thing is that there's a drop in neutralizing antibodies of almost 50 times as compared to the earlier lineage. It's also picking up new mutations. So these recombinant mutations happen when in the same person at the same time, two strains come in and the genetic material gets swapped during the replication of the virus. So although the restrictions are being lowered, we can't put our guard down. We need to keep our mask up. Relaxations can go down, keep your mask up.
Well, this will in fact, increase and intensify the demand of introducing the booster shots for everyone.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. The real fact is that the boosters, even in fact, there is a new study in New England Journal of Medicine, which has been published because of the boosters. They've tested 1.7 million patients, and the boosters have worked extremely well against all sublineages of Omicron. So it is important of two messages to the public. Do not forget your mask, and please get your boosters done, especially for the elderly, comorbid patients, and immunocompromised.
Absolutely. Sir, stay on with us. We have Dr. Om Srivastav, member of the Maharashtra COVID Task Force, joining us on the broadcast. Dr. Srivastav, the first case of XC variant has been reported in Mumbai. How is the COVID Task Force looking at this particular development? Because Maharashtra is also one of the states where wearing of the mask in public is not mandatory anymore. No fines on people if you don't wear a mask in public. Are those guidelines going to be revised as well?
It's early days as yet. I think we'll need to see where this is going. One case does not make it a mandate to revise guidelines completely. It still does require that people should be cautious, and maybe this is a good time to reinforce the masking regulation. Masks should be kept. That is important. Other than that, what else is going to be happen and which is the direction that this is going into? It is still very early to comment on that. Fortunately, in the reports that have come in from our neighboring country, the virus in the previous version and in this version does not appear to be having the same kind of burden of being grievous, but it is very infectious. So this is a time to be watchful. It's a time to be careful. It's also a time to be keeping an eye on which direction this is heading. But I don't think there is a need to look at any drastic change in policy for the general public at this point itself.
All right, so the situation is going to be monitored. Thank you very much, Dr. Bagai and Dr. Srivastav, for joining us with your expert opinions. We're moving on.